Yeah, yeah. What they say? I'm so divine, I'm so divine. Imperfection, perfection, my presence shines. My mental is parasailing maritime. They say I'm destined to read the palm line. Yeah, I'm so divine, I'm so divine. Imperfection, perfection, my presence shines. My mental is parasailing maritime. They say I'm destined to read the palm line. Yeah, I'm so divine.
Welcome to the H.G.R.G podcast, episode 54. What's going on, fellas?
Yes.
Hey, man.
You already know the question going to be, man. I'm going to have to ask Lance because DT, you still with us?
Hey, man, Lance.
What we doing out here in these streets? Okay. All right. Absolutely.
Right. Now, Lance, what's up, man? What's up? You still with us?
Yeah, I'm flying high.
Oh, you flying high?
Like you high, or high like altitude.
No comment.
The latter.
No comment. Unbelievable. Listen, we back with another episode. Once again, thank you guys for always tuning in. Here we are again with another one. Today, we definitely want to talk about CFOs, certificate of occupancy. Just not talked about enough. You know, we want to put it out to the world. We always try to find subjects that maybe, you know, we don't find out there in the internet world, and try to bring it to you. So, you know, with that being said, right off the bat, DT, what is a CFO?
CFO, you said it, certificate of occupancy. Some municipalities require it, some don't. Towns, cities, states, you know, obviously have different laws, different I would say variances. But nevertheless, if you're in a larger city municipality, they will require some type of, I think every town, city, state requires it. It's just what form does it come in, right? Some towns are just, you know, a simple inspection. They walk through, make sure smoke alarms, carbon monoxides, doors open and close properly, and then they leave, right? Other ones are a little bit more checklist. Yeah, exactly. Other ones are a little bit more intricate. Other ones are like super, you know, they check every window, every door. They turn on the faucets to make sure the pressure is correct, make sure draining is proper. You know, a lot of things go into it. Again, every municipality is different, city, state, and town. But so nevertheless, what it all boils down to is there's certain regulations and rules that have to be abided by for an owner to rent a property to a tenant logistically, legally. And that would be considered a certificate of occupancy, whether it's a city or a town or whatever the case may be. There's obviously different names for it, but that's what it is.
Question. Single, you need a CFO?
Any property that you rent to a tenant,
got it,
whether it's a single, double, a million unit property, it requires some type of certificate of occupancy from your local township, municipality, one way, shape, form, or fashion, for sure.
So are there different types of CFOs? Because you're saying some kind of CFO.
Yes, types. Yes, because of the different rules and regulations for that township, municipality. So different types, I would say yes. And the reason why I say yes is because if I live in Lance's town, the rules and regulations could be on 10. If I live in Jerry's town, rules and regulations could be on 4. If I live on Danny's town, they could be on 3. You know, so there's different.
It's a different ruling, but not different in the certificate you need. You need a certificate of occupancy, but the type of work or rules they have for the occupancies in the township, if that makes sense. That's what you're saying?
So you do need, no matter where you are, there is
correct. That's the
certificate needed, right? What it takes to get that certificate varies
Varies.
in different
Right.
markets.
Right.
Correct.
But also there's a little thing I don't want to forget, right? Is that some CFOs are transferable and some are not transferable. Right.
And
So
what changes that? What are the stipulations for that?
yeah, I mean it could be the dates,
Right.
and so if your CFO is out of date, or if it's coming up to be out of date, then you may need to get a new CFO.
Yeah.
That may not be it may be non-transferable, right?
Mhm.
So what does that mean, non-transferable? So if I'm going to buy just Jerry's property and his CFO is not up to date, or it looks like it's going to be out of date, right? He may need to get a new CFO and make sure it's transferable to the new owner, which would be me.
Let me dance on that. Let me dance on that for a little more.
Yeah,
See,
absolutely. Go ahead, Michael Jackson. That.
so certain markets require that shit was weird. So
I don't know what type of time we on. What?
Michael Jackson's rolling in his grave right now.
I don't even know. I don't even know what Michael Jackson ever said.
That's why you buy. That's why you buy properties and you don't do impersonations.
It sounds like you're constipated, if I'm being honest with you. But go ahead, do your thing. Go ahead, dance on that.
Dance on that, not tap. Don't do none of that.
So if a CFO is acquired in our market specifically, in order to acquire a CFO and transfer it, it has to be within 2 years of its acquisition. So single families and doubles are 6-year occupancy, 6 years to renewal. So if I acquire a CFO today or a single or double, that is valid for 6 years. So in order for me to
where you're at, where you're at.
I'm speaking about our market. Every market is different. So I'm just giving you an example of our market, right? So in our market, if you acquire a CFO today, that CFO is valid in a single or a double for 6 years. Single, double, triple, 4-unit or more, it's only 3 years. It's valid for 3 years. So a CFO is only transferable within its first 2 years of acquisition, right? So if you acquire a CFO today, that's only valid for 24 months. So example, if Jerry and Lance buy a property today, they bought it as is. Tomorrow they get a CFO. That CFO is brand new tomorrow. They sell that property next month. That CFO is transferable because it was in the first 24 months of the acquisition of the CFO. Now, if it was 27 months into their ownership of the property, it's non-transferable, but the CFO is still valid. Go ahead, G.
Right.
That's the question I'm going to ask. If it's not transferable, but I still have 4 more years left, what are my options? I'm buying the property from Lance, and now he has 6 years. He has 6 years, and I'm buying the property. He's putting it into the game in the market 3 years after he bought the property.
Okay. So it has a valid CFO, but it's just not transferable.
We have 3 more years left on that CFO.
Okay.
I'm buying it. I don't want to buy a new CFO because they might give me bullshit.
Yeah.
So I want to use his. Can I use his?
No. The day the deed transfers into your name, that property status is the CFO is not valid. You now have to reapply for a new CFO, get an inspection, and do whatever has to be done to acquire that CFO.
Or you make the seller do it, which in most cases that's what you do.
So let me ask you another question.
Well, yeah.
If I don't do that, is anybody coming for me?
Yes, the city is on you. The city's on your neck. The city, the town, the municipalities, they're on your neck because they have, so when you buy a property, the deed gets transferred. When that deed gets recorded, it notifies that township, that city, that municipality that deed has been recorded into a new name. Then that triggers the township, the municipality, the city to now research who is the new owner. When they research that, they see, okay, hey, I don't even care who you are. This property now needs a new CFO. What are you going to do? And if you don't do it within a certain time, we're going to start finding you.
That's the question after that.
Yeah.
You receive fines, man.
So let me ask you another question. I know I'm the one who's asking questions today.
Yeah. Take over the show. Just Jerry.
I love you.
Hey, man, it's about damn time. It's about damn time.
Next question would be, can it mess up a deal?
I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to defer this to my best friend, Lance. Can it mess up your deal?
Best friends. Wow.
I don't know what you guys did on the side, but
hey,
he's vouching for you today, bro.
Hey, bestie.
Thank you for calling me.
Don't show the crack camera. Please do not show your crack camera.
So what a CFO shows, because you guys, if a deal can fall apart, it can, because what it shows to the buyer is that they know what they're getting because you have a valid CFO, right? It check marks so much stuff for you. It validates so much stuff for you. It makes you comfortable when you go into buying a deal because you know the property has been looked at, it's been approved, the city's good with it, and you can move forward. So if without that, and if you're not willing to get that as a seller, if you're not willing to go ahead and go get a CFO, it's a red flag for somebody like me. Okay, so what's wrong with this here? There's no CFO. You weren't selling it as is. So what happened here? Why don't you want to get it?
You mentioned that, right? You're not selling it as is, but why do you say that? Because your experience, right? So you say that loosely because that's your lingo, but point that out.
Right? No, yeah. Thank you, best friend. Yeah, definitely. I'll go ahead and
come on, bestie. Come on, bestie. Help us.
I'll go ahead and delve into that. When someone sells a property as is, it means just that. There's not going to be any CFO. If there is a CFO, great. But if there's not, the property, what you see is what you get. And whatever's beneath that is beneath that. And you're going to find that out on your own time. But what I'm telling you is that I have this piece of shit right here that, that you're going to buy and you're going to take. I mean, because that's what you're calling it. When you say as is, you're like, I know it's got problems. But right. I'll sell it to you at a discounted price, but it's going to be your problem after that. You're going to be responsible for getting a CFO. You're going to be responsible for fixing whatever comes after that, whatever comes with this, right? So if that isn't stated in the beginning, and I believe I'm going in to get a quality property, and you don't have a valid CFO that's transferable, remember, because we're going to walk that line, that CFO may be valid to you because it's 6 years and it's on year number 5, but it's not valid to me as the buyer. So if you're not going to go get a new CFO, it tells me a lot. And I may not need this deal. And I don't want the headache that I don't know what's coming with it. So yes, you may have a couple tenants in it and they're paying you, but I don't know what's coming after that. And I may not be willing to deal. So the reality is a lot of people will walk away, if you're smart, and you're not impatient and you go look for the right deal that fits you. So yes, it definitely can. Mess a deal.
So what a CFO does, just to add into that lens, is it tells the state or shows the state it's at least habitable for you to live in.
For sure.
So that's the conversation it is. It makes it seem habitable for you to live in or the renter to live in. So if you don't have a CFO and you're trying to fight not to get the CFO, can we live there? Can we not?
Right. That's a big question.
That's a question now. Once you have a CFO, yes, we're good. You can live there. Jump right in. That's the different conversation, the lingo with you have a CFO.
A little branch off of that as well, right? So if you don't have a CFO, right? Let's say Lance, Jerry, and I, H.G.R.G, bought a property from an as-is buyer. No CFO. Whatever. We understood that when we got into it. Then the tenant is
as-is buyer?
We are the as-is buyers.
Right. Just want to make sure. Okay.
Yep. We are the as is buyers. Tenants are non-paying tenants. We evict. We try to evict. We go to court. We don't have a CFO. The tenant says, I don't pay my rent because there's no CFO here. Where do we stand?
We are going
rap, buddy.
We are going to have tenants live there until we fix it and get a
Yep.
CFO.
Yep. I just want to make sure that
means no rent. You got to come out of pocket.
Right.
Absolutely. Good example.
I just want to make sure we also point out the relevancy of what a CFO can do also on the back end. Even if it's not something that like, tomorrow we plan on making $1 million, trillion, zillion dollars off of. You got to understand what you're buying, right? With no CFO, these are things that come with that. Right. So
great you said. That's great you said. So let's transition to that, right? So is a CFO always needed? I know we hit on it, but what you were about to say, is a CFO always needed? Because you said it always depends on what you're buying. So hit me.
So the right answer to that is no. A CFO is not always needed.
That's the technical answer.
No, that's the right answer. It's not the technical.
You're gonna break it down. It's the Okay, go ahead. It's technical.
Let me tell you why it's not technical. Let me tell you why it's right and technical at the same time.
Hey, listen, Jerry, leave my best friend alone.
Right? I'll tell you why it's technical, but go ahead.
Not technical.
Tell him to watch me walk, man. You know what I'm saying?
Let him dance on this.
When you own a property that's an investment only property, right? And you don't have a CFO, it is required. It is required. Right. So it's always needed when you own a property that is an investment property only. Yes. The technical portion of it is that. The real portion is when you get that FHA, owner occupant, and you don't got to get a CFO on an owner occupant property. Now you can do whatever you want, because when you owner occupy a property, it does not require you to have a CFO. You don't need a CFO for an owner occupant property.
Okay. So what you're saying to me, if I have 2-family house and I live in one, the other side where the tenant lives in, you don't need a CFO?
No, sir.
So that's what you're saying is
owner occupant property.
The cheat code?
Yes.
Cheat code.
Oh, okay.
Cheat code.
Oh.
Yeah.
So drop gems, but don't try to play me when you try to play dropping gems, boy.
I didn't try to play. I was just telling you the truth. But
you hurt my feelings now.
But full disclosure, different markets call for different things. So, that's not like 100% fact in every market. That's 100% fact in our market.
Some markets may not need a CFO for anything at all. So I mean,
yes, there's certain townships that all you got to do is get like an inspector to come in, make sure that they have smoke detection carbons, and it's good. There's no CFO. Right. That's not even a thing. They just want to make health and safety is that's it, and you walk away. Right. So go ahead, Lance. My bad.
No, that's fine, because and we're talking about our market because that's what we're best at in our market for sure. Right. We don't know every single market across the United States, right? So we're not going to act like we do. But
markets that we're in, the markets that we're in, we do need some CFOs and stuff like that.
Right. But what we do know is that the market that we're in and the markets that we're in and the philosophy that we preach work in every market. Our philosophies, our theories, our team, the solution matters of how we operate. If you take this and apply it to any market in the U.S., it applies.
That's a fact. And really, with that being said, I just wanted to distinguish that line, right? Because I don't want you to think you can go into an investment property, and just go, oh, okay, we're good to go. There's steps to it. The CFO, is an essential step to you buying a property, especially investment property. Yeah. And listen, you might be very handy, and if you're an occupant, may not care anything about a CFO because you're handy, and you're good to go. So, you can go in there with the eye test and go, all right, you know what? I don't need to know the nooks and crannies of every single thing in this property. I'm
Let
good
me
Why
with
ask-
don't
my
more
answer.
channels talk about this, Lance?
Yeah,
Why don't you hear
let me
more
ask
about
you-
this on other channels, Lance?
Listen, man, I tell you, because it's not sexy, CFO. It's not sexy subject, but you know what? It's so crazy. It's so essential in some markets.
Right.
And all you hear is the multifamily versus single family. You hear the how to get rich here and this here, and a big thing is now is people trying to buy property with no money. Get this with no money and do this with no money. So those are things that are sexy on the internet, right? Those are things that draw eyes and clicks. When we put this out here and we go, what is a CFO? We got people may bypass that. And I don't know. And that's the chance we take with this channel. We're not really clickbaitish, I guess if that's a damn word.
So the real is gonna come out. That's what happens. We're gonna continue to be real, and the real is gonna come out. And that's what we're betting on, the real. And
Right.
and that's what we're standing on. So
Yeah.
that's the reason why it's not clickbaitish, is because we're not gonna do something for the likes. We're gonna do something for the real. And when you sit down and listen to us, after a while, you're gonna go, wow, okay, I need this step to get in this step. Bet I'm gonna do it this way. But
Yep.
I'm sorry.
I would love to know how many people that haven't invested yet, but you're thinking about it, you're getting ready to, you're looking for your first investment property, wherever you may be at, in that area, right? Anyone that hasn't invested yet, though, right before, I want to know how many people knew about CFO. I want to know how many people knew that could make or break an investment deal.
The reason I believe they don't talk about it is because a CFO could kind of hurt your pockets if you don't do it right. So let's say I bought a property for $100,000 and I put 20% down, and I used all my income tax money, and I don't have no more money. And the CFO, the right people, your team don't speak about CFOs, so you buy the property without a CFO, a transferable CFO. And now when you get it, you have the property, now it's yours. The state goes, we need a CFO here. And now you go in and you go put your contract in it. You just spend your whole dollar, your bank account.
Mm-hmm.
And the CFO cost is about another $3 to $4 grand just to clean up the house.
Oh, and listen, CFO is not a piece of paper. It's the piece of paper that comes after.
Right.
It's a CFO says your house is fixed up, ready to go. It's habitable, like just Jerry said. You can have a renter in here now, right? It's good to go. That's what I'm saying.
What is the CFO if you don't have a CFO, right? Is there any way that could stop your money?
Yeah, 100. We just said it. Absolutely. If you have a renter in there, let's say you buy the property with renters in there, right? And that's what attracted you. Oh man, they're paying their money. They're in there, and then you get the property, and you don't have the CFO, and now they start withholding rent from you.
Why would they?
Because the fixes aren't proper. It's not the conditions aren't livable. In their eyes, or up to standards. So you have leaks here, you have this here, you have that there. So the heat's not working properly. Whatever it is, you have that going. You have to get in there and fix it ASAP.
Yep. And you know what's the issue is? Let's say you bought the property and this is your first property, so you already don't know. You're green. This is why H.G.R.G is very important, guys.
H.G.R.G. club.
You buy the property. You're green, so you don't have a CFO, and the tenant boiler went down. You fixed the boiler, so you think you're good.
Yeah.
So you think you're good. So they're still not paying no more because the boiler went down and they don't like how it goes. But you try to evict. You fix the boiler and you still can't get rent and evict them because you don't have a CFO.
That's real.
Yeah, you got to get that.
Hello.
Get that.
So you spend the money for the boiler, and now you got to spend more money because you don't have a CFO. You can't kick them out. You have to get that shit fixed. The conversation is do it right, bro. H.G.R.G. that club will teach you right.
Craziest CFO story.
Story time with DT.
Story time with DT.
No, I'm asking you guys.
Oh, sorry. I don't
know
know.
you've been trying to get one.
It's because I'll tell you this.
I got one, but I want to ask you that.
It's bad. It's bad that you say that because we're kind of seasoned, so we know what we're gonna jump into when we get a property. So for us, I don't have a story because I already know what I'm getting into. So
back in 1982, when I got my first property,
we got that first property, the CFO was clean. We had a CFO transferable. So we didn't have to argue on nothing.
All right, let me
I
give
don't
you
even
my
think you knew what that was.
my craziest CFO story. Let me give you that.
You got one.
And I got a good one. This is a good one. I bought a property at an auction, a city tax auction. I bought the property. On the auction paperwork, it was 100 First Street. So after I bought it, I paid $10 for it. Let's just say. I go to the property, love it. I knew what I bought because I did the research. Get the paperwork. What I bought is not what I thought I bought. I thought I bought the house, but really I bought the garage. The house and the garage are two separate plots. They're on two separate plots. The house is 102. The garage is 100. I bought 100. Right?
Is that even legal?
1,000%. 1,000%. I'll show you documents. I'll show you documents. So I bought 100 First Street, the garage. But when I bought it, I never thought I thought I bought the house. So, anyways, I go to the city, I pay the money, I paid the $10. I get the house, I'm excited. The owner of 102 calls me. Why would you buy this garage? I didn't buy the garage. I bought the house. No, you didn't buy it. I own the house.
I bought your house, bro. What are you talking about?
I own the house. You own the garage. I used to own the garage, but I lost the garage to taxes because my mom died and I couldn't pay him and all this other shit. Nevertheless, there was some bullshit involved with the garage and the house. He owns the house. Now I own the garage. So I tried to negotiate with him. All right, cool. Mind you, I talked to him today. This is a real story. Today, I was on the phone with him. I'm trying to buy the house from him because tomorrow I got to have an answer for the city or else I lose.
Your fee.
Cool. So the city calls me last week. Hey, you own this garage. But because one of the properties that are in your LLC do not have a C of O, we will not close on that property at the auction.
Wow.
I didn't know that was possible.
So, because you're trying to buy this property, the garage, and I own 20-something properties, one of the 20, it doesn't matter if it's one or if there's 20 of them, don't have a C of O, we will not allow you to close on the property you bought at the auction.
Wow.
So that gave me an out.
That gave you the out, though, right? Exactly. It saved you.
Out on the garage.
That state, man. That state.
My man was like, and I ain't gonna pay. I ain't gonna make a CFO for it either. Take the garage back.
Why would you pay for it? Which I didn't.
but look though, so I'm so we so ill, we so real with our shit that I could change the ownership name and make that work out in a day or so. And
there's always options to make it happen.
Which I'm doing, just to be clear, which I'm doing. So I'm gonna wholesale a property. I bought a garage at the auction. I'm gonna tell you real numbers. I paid $30,000 for the garage. The owner owes $12,000 in taxes plus another $10,000 in some dumb shit. So that's 20. They owe 22,000.
22. Yeah.
So I paid 30 for the garage. but I thought I paid 30 for the house.
Mhm.
Plus 22, that's 52. Right? The house needs about 15, 20, 72. That house is worth 120, 130 tomorrow. I'm going to wholesale that property for 80 tomorrow.
The garage?
Tomorrow for that property for 80. I'm into it for 50.
Oh, yeah. Which property you're selling?
Yeah, you talking about the one that doesn't have a C of O, or you talking about the garage?
The house and the garage.
Okay.
Okay, good.
I bought the garage for 30. I'm gonna buy the owner out for 22.
Of the property.
Yeah,
no, for the garage.
The owner of the house. The owner of the house.
Yes, you're gonna buy him out for 22 for the garage.
22. So 22 for him, 30 for the garage.
Yeah.
I'm 52,000 in for that property in title. I'm wholesaling that property for 80. It's worth 130.
My question is, why are we even talking about a garage? How big is this garage? Like
it's a one-car garage.
What the?
But so I don't want to make this long-winded, but nevertheless, this is when a C of O, when you don't have a C of O,
works for you.
You're never gonna hear a story like this ever in your life again.
Thanks for ending it on here's a good reason why not to have a C of O.
No. This is the only time you're ever gonna hear it. Like I would never tell you this story. Even me saying it, I don't even believe me, but I know it's real. But what I'm saying is that this is the only time where not having a C of O can go in your favor. Period.
Yeah, this is one in a million right here.
Yeah, one in a million.
A C of O, if you didn't know, C of O is meant to protect you. It's to make sure you get your money, to make sure you're getting a good property. A C of O is essential, and you got to stay up to date on that as well.
And if you get into a place where you fuck that C of O up, H.G.R.G might be able to help you.
There you go.
We might be able to wholesale the shit. I don't know. Figure it out.
My man DT is hitting a million with this one. But I'll tell you,
I can't make this up. This happened today.
I'll tell you this though. CFO is needed. CFO is a way that you can help yourself get rent, kick out, evict. CFO is very important. You need it, get it.
And it protects your insurance.
And nobody talks
insurance.
Yeah, you gotta have that to protect yourself. LLCs, insurances, corporations, S corp, whatever. You need that to protect you. When you invest in investment properties.
Listen, do it the right way so everything works out right for you. I'm not saying that this stuff is easy. We're not saying everything is always smooth, but you know what? Do what you can to protect yourself. And then, hopefully everything else falls in place for you. Just like any business, there's ups and downs to this, but not having a C of O is, self-inflicting, and you don't want to do that to yourself in this game. So there's already enough stuff to think about.
If you're buying a property, make sure that person has a CFO. Make sure that they have a CFO. Make sure
if they don't, use it in your favor. Negotiation,
right?
Whatever. You know what I mean? We don't buy all of our properties with CFOs, to be clear. Actually, I like properties without CFOs.
Yeah,
I get the better deal. Yeah, I get the better deal.
Negotiate. Yep.
Leave that for the seasoned guys.
That's what I'm trying to explain. We talking to the green guys. Make sure they have a CFO when you're buying, bro.
And what I will tell you is that no matter what you do, run it through us, man. HGRG.club. Hey, we have a price point for our package, our mentorship, our portfolio, but we also have a small, very, very little entry point for consultation calls. Tap into us, man. We talk to us. We talk back. Messaging us. For an hour phone call. If it costs you $100 to talk to somebody that will give you the unadulterated truth about something you have zero ideas about, is that not like an amazing investment? If you go talk to Donald Trump, Barack Obama about being the president for $100, would you not do that if you was trying to be president?
I'm sure you'd pick which one you want to talk to, but I'm sure everybody would pick at least one of them. So yeah, absolutely.
Hey, if you want to talk to me only, guys, just book a call. We're here. You don't want to talk to DT, I'm good with him. He don't have. He just has to show up. Nah, I'm just joking.
If you don't want story time with DT, but listen,
Hey, two things for certain, you're gonna always get story time with DT.
and if you're not willing to invest in yourself, and you know what, and you just like the video, make sure you like, subscribe, share the video. Let's get it out there. It's
Smash that like button
for sure. And listen, and we'll see you on the next episode.
Salute, gentlemen.
Yeah. What they saying? I'm so divine, I'm so divine. Imperfection, perfection, my presence shines. My mental's parasailing maritime. They say I'm destined to read the